Hi, this is Matt with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we'll be showing you how to repair your appliance. Remember, anytime you work on an appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. In this video we're going to show you how to change out the bearing and seal assembly. It's going to be a very easy repair. It should only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can click on the link below or get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. When you open up the package, you're going to get the instructions, the felt bearing and felt seal, the locator pins, and the adhesive. The main reason you'd be changing the felt seal is that you may have noticed little brown marks on your clothes when you take them out of the dryer. It's not oil from the washer. It's actually caused by this felt seal wearing out over time, and the drum settles down a little bit, creating a gap at the bottom, and as the clothes spin around, they get pinched in between the drum and the seal. Also, when the felt seal is worn out, it can cause the hot air to leak out of the drum, which could increase your drying times. First thing we have to do is lift up the lint screen cover to gain access to the two screws. If you have the type of lint screen that has the cover built into it, just pull it out and remove the screws. Then we have to take a putty knife, and about 2 inches in from each corner, there's a little locking tab that you have to press in and release so you can lift up the top. When you're pressing the release clip in, make sure you go above these two tabs and press in. If you go below them, you're not going to hit the release. Then we have to release the door switch wiring harness. Take your screwdriver and release the clip. Then we have to remove the two screws that hold the front panel on. It's a 5/16 inch hex head. You can use a socket or a nut driver. Now that the two screws are out of the front panel and the door switch is disconnected, we can take the front panel off. So you can pull it forward a little bit, and it actually rests on two little clips down at the base of the machine. So you need to lift it up. And there's one on each side. If you have the type of dryer that has two panels, the large main panel and the smaller access panel, you're going to have to use a small screwdriver or a putty knife, stick it behind the smaller access panel, and pop it out. Once you pop it off, there's going to be two door springs, one on each side. If you have those, take them off. And then on the bottom of the big panel, there's going to be a screw on each side that you need to loosen up so you can pull the panel off. Don't take the screws all the way out, just loosen them enough to get the panel out. Now that we have the front panel on top of the dryer, we can remove the seal. Some of the seals vary in different ways that they're held on. This particular one is all in one piece, it's not glued on. You can pop these off their little retaining clips with a small screwdriver. This particular one is not glued on. There's another retaining clip over here. And that's all you have to do to take this seal off. Some of them are glued on, and you're going to have to pull them off and clean off all the glue residue before you can put the new seal on. Here's the old felt seal next to the new felt seal. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. Okay, when you read the instructions, you're going to have to figure out if you're going to have to cut your felt seals to fit your particular style or not. You may have to cut this upper one, the thick one, and you might have to cut this lower one. So basically what you have to do is take your old felt seal and measure the thick top part. Ours is just about 17 inches long. So if you look on the paper right here, this piece right here is actually 19 5/8. So we have to cut 3 inches off of this. So ours is 16 15/16 inches long, which is B. And if you look at B, it says it's for full width door models and 349 464 assemblies. And then if you open the instructions up to page 2, for the lower seal it says for 349 464 assemblies, the lower seal is 32 1/4 inches long. That means we don't have to cut ours, but you might have to. So you have to read the instructions to determine what you have to do with yours. Okay, so we're going to measure this out and cut it at just under 17. 16 and 15/16. You can just use a razor blade to cut it. Alright, so we have that cut to our proper length now. Now we have to pop out the old white retainers and put in our new ones. If yours used the black ones, you would use those instead. There's little tabs. All you have to do is push on them with a screwdriver and then pop them out. Once you have the old ones out, the new ones just press into place. Okay, now once you have those in, all you have to do is press your felt down onto the new locking tab and stretch it over and put the opposite side in. Making sure that when you put it on, the little cuts are facing towards the outside of the door opening. Okay, we're going to use the adhesive that came with the kit. You have to run it along the outside of the circumference of the door opening, and then we have to let it sit for a minute so it gets kind of sticky, and then we're going to put the felt on. Now that we have the glue on the door, we'll let it sit for a minute and then we'll put the felt on. Okay, and now that the glue is on there and it's kind of tacky, we're going to go ahead and put the felt seal around, making sure that you butt each end of the felt up to the bearing at the top. So we'll start off on one side, press it down, work our way around. You want to make sure that the seals go all the way up to the bearing at the top so that no hot air leaks out. Go ahead and press the seal down all the way around. Make sure you get the glue spread out. Get any air bubbles out of there. Make sure it's nice and solidly connected. Then we have to roll it under and fold it in half. And if you have a rubber band or something that you can put around here, just let it seal on here, let the glue cure, let it sit for an hour or two, and be ready to go. When you get it put on, if you find that these corners aren't sticking down as good, just put some extra sealant right there and press it into place so it's nice and secure. Now that you let the glue sit for about an hour or so to get nice and sticky, you can very carefully put the front back on, but don't use the dryer for a good 24 hours. It'll give the glue time to cure. Okay, go ahead and lift the back of the dryer, get it out of the way. Then we have to come around to put the front panel back on. Remember, it goes down onto the two mounting pegs down at the bottom. Remember, when you're putting the front panel on, this is a new seal, so it's going to be a little bit thicker than the old one. So the felt bearing may be really tight to get in there because it's new and thick. So if you have to, use a putty knife and just press it down as you work the felt seal into the drum. Once you have the front panel on, you can go ahead and put your 5/16 screws back in and attach the front panel. Once you have both screws in and the front panel secure, we can reconnect the door switch wiring harness. When you're reinstalling the front panel on the type of jar that has two panels in the front, you have to first put the main panel onto the front, setting it onto the two screws, and then tighten those screws down, and then tighten down the upper screws. Reconnect the springs on both sides if you took them off. You can go ahead and slide the kick plate back onto the lower tabs and rotate it back in and snap it into place. With the front panel back on, we can lift the top back over and press it into place onto the locking tabs. Once we have those in, we can go ahead and line up the screw holes for the lint screen. Now that we're done repairing the appliance, we can plug it back in and take it for a test spin. Thanks for joining us for another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. Check out our other repair videos on our site, Facebook, and YouTube.